thought you were safe. You thought the bloodshed was over, but you're just a dumb little kid.
This is Dave and Kyle's Happy Fun Time, our show. Sans Dave. There's no Dave for this episode because it is my review of Serious Sam Double D XXL. This is a game that will be coming out on February 20th. I have had the privilege of checking this out early.
Horde with some serious co-play action. We're like Siamese twins conjoined at the chest mouth. Sexy.
If you've played the original Serious Sam Double D that came out on PC, I do believe middle of last year, you've got a pretty good idea what this is going to be about. It's a side-scrolling, platforming sort of shooter like Contra. That would be the closest thing, is a modern-day Contra, but this is much more ramped up. The biggest thing that this game features that really makes it stand out is the gun stacker. The gun stacker is bad fucking ass. There's no other game where you can go and take 5 or 6 different guns, pile them on top of one another, and then use all of them at the exact same time. It's pretty sweet.
Or the bumblebees. This game will render your kneecaps useless.
It's not really that much different than the original Double D. That's one of my biggest complaints about it, is that it is an improvement around, and if you haven't played that one, then this one's perfect. I mean, there's no reason to play the original since this is coming out in a day.
Oh, yeah. And did I mention I'm in the game? I'm in the game!
Overall, the gameplay is pretty fast-paced. It's really chaotic. It's got... The art styling is pretty consistent with Mommy's Best Games. They're indie developer, I do believe, out of Indiana. They started putting out games. I think their first one was Shoot One Up, which was also my first Xbox Live purchase.
Fist kick!
That's a side-scrolling shmup, a shoot-'em-up. And all their art styling has stayed pretty consistent across all of their games. It's sort of a blend between an 8-bit and, modern-day graphics with modern-day textures and everything. But it keeps that, multi-layered scrolling background like an old Sonic game does, as you can see in the trailer that's playing behind you right now, along with the redneck that's screaming at me. This guy is actually playable in the game. I'll put a link down for the original trailer that's playing in the background so you can check this out. This guy is something. Yeah, it's overall I'd say it's a pretty good game. I would pick it up. It's going to be 800 Microsoft Space Points, so $10 when it comes out on the 20th. This game also features co-op, which is definitely a big improvement past the original game that didn't have any co-op at all. So you can play it with your wife and then get angry because your wife is dying a lot, and it makes everything much harder. Not that that's how I played it for the first time or anything. This has been my very brief, very shitty preview review of Serious Sam Double D XXL.
Based on how long you hold the fire button, the turret tosser quickly builds a turret and fills it with Tommy gun ammo. The longer you hold the button, the more ammo the turret is given. Turrets auto-target the closest enemies, and once they exhaust their ammo, they close up and detonate like a small grenade. In small encounters, you can spam the trigger, firing lots of turrets for a quick burst of support, or you can charge them for a while to back you up longer during big fights. There are 2 other Tommy gun upgrades, but now let's look at the laser rifle. The laser rifle, even in its basic form, is one of the more powerful guns in the game, but upgraded it can roast all manner of Mental's legions. First up is the Health Leech upgrade. This laser rifle upgrade sucks the life force from enemies and sends it trailing back down the path of the laser to heal Sam and Huff. Used against small enemies, it can give you a tiny boost, and fired at giant monsters can often sustain you through a long fight. Using it, though, means less ammo for far more powerful laser rifle upgrades, such as the Electrostatic Orb. The Electrostatic Orb upgrade is a charge weapon that fires an intensely hot mass of electrical energy. The longer you hold it, the further it travels and the stronger the orb becomes. The result is a monster-jibbing, death-dealing juggernaut that's only stopped by the biggest creatures in the game. It can be used strategically by firing behind you to cover your back, or to thin deeper ranks of oncoming hordes. That was 4 more upgrades from Serious Sam Double D XXL. Check out
I hope it's been informative for you,
watch for more gun videos.
viewer, listener, compatriot, comrade. I need Dave to yell at me to stop. Goodbye, everyone.